Hey YouTube, it's Bugout, and as my longtime viewers will know, I'm both an active duty member of the military as well as a member of the American Red Cross. And one of the questions that I'm getting asked by friends, loved ones, as well as viewers, seeing how I run a preparedness-minded YouTube channel, are what are some actions that should be taken in the event of a terrorist attack? So in this video I have 5 tips on what to do to keep yourself and your loved ones safe if, God forbid, something like that happens. Now, chances are very, very low that you will be in a terrorist attack, but because this seems to be an ongoing issue and with no end in sight, this would probably be a good video to have and maybe even show your friends and loved ones and children. So the first tip that I have for y'all is to leave the area if you are hearing the sound of gunfire. Now this might sound obvious, but I've seen a lot of footage where people, they don't see the gunfire, but they hear it and they kind of wander towards where they think it's coming from. That's not a good idea. The best idea is to grab your loved ones and head towards the nearest exit, and remember that just like on an airplane, the nearest exit may be behind you. The natural inclination for most people is to head towards the entrance that they arrived inside the building at, assuming you're in a building. Avoid that tendency and just kind of get in the habit of making sure that you know where your nearest exit is. The second tip is make sure that you're not running whenever you realize that you're encountering terrorism, because dexterity and sure-footedness are some of the first things that you lose whenever you feel that rush of adrenaline. And although adrenaline is great for, kind of powering through pain or ignoring pain, it's not very good whenever you're trying to do something like running or holding things or manipulating objects. So just kind of keep that in mind. Make sure that this goes into my next tip, is to find the wall, the closest wall to you, and skirt along the wall towards the nearest exit. The tendency for the crowd is to bunch up near the middle. Most people don't think about going towards the wall and exiting the area or the building in that way. So make sure you do that. And then the fourth tip is to make sure that you're not attacking the terrorists unless you have no other choice. Your first and only goal, which should be to ensure separation between you and the attack, of you and your loved ones. If you're stuck in a room and you need to defend yourself, or you're put in a corner, make sure that you do whatever you can to overpower and then once again place space between you and the terrorist. And then the last step is to make sure that you call the police, and make sure someone is calling the police whenever you're in a safe place. And also make sure that you identify yourself, especially if you're in the process of defending yourself, or in some way if you have a threatening posture, and you might not realize this while this is all going on. But make sure you identify yourself as someone who's a victim and fully comply with the police whenever they come and control the system. Please don't think that you're helping the police by ignoring what they're telling you to do or by looking threatening. And don't scream, "I know my rights," as the police are taking you to the ground. You could very easily be shot because you could be mistaken for the attacker. So those are my 5 tips. One last caveat on tip number 4: if you are trained, of course, to take on someone who is an active shooter, that's a little bit different than the average person who's trying to attack a terrorist. So people who are military or law enforcement or whatnot, some sort of training, maybe their sheepdog mentality would prove useful in those kind of situations. But if you do not have that type of training and you're simply in a fight or flight mode, make sure that you leave the area and create as much distance as you can between you and the terrorist. Anyways, guys, let me know what you'll think. I'll leave helpful links on what to do in a terrorist attack in the description box down below. Y'all stay safe out there, and remember, it pays to be prepared. God bless.